Evening, folks. Prep Rebel here. Well, coming up to another Canada Day, July 1st. Yeehaw. Oh, my word. It's been a journey. Uh, well, the greenhouse is just about finished. I've just got to add some trim and leveling blocks on the bottom just to make sure it's stable all the way through. And then it's a matter of putting my benches in there and getting my plants growing inside. All of my seedlings and stuff like that I'm currently growing in the house, and we'll see from there. Well, I'll tell you, it's been interesting. Yep, the directions said 3 people, 2 hours. 1 person, 3 days, plus a little bit more. Oh, my word. Koa was doing her best job supervising me, making sure everything was going well and that I wasn't cussing up a storm like a damn sailor or trucker. Not that I have any disrespect for either one of those groups, because I have been both and I respect them all. But wow, it's been a real journey this year. Soon as Canada Day is come along, so that's July 1st. I think on the 2nd I'll do a July garden tour and show you the changes to my deck and where all of my plants are now and how they're growing. You guys are going to be absolutely flabbergasted with the growth on that Three Sisters bed. It's just crazy. I have not got any squash yet, but it is flowering and I can see the baby squash starting to grow, and even the same with my zucchinis. So I'm happy. But right now at this count this morning, my tomatoes, I'm over 120 tomatoes on my 7 plants. So a lot of them are cherry tomatoes, but I have Romas and I have beefsteaks in there too. So that's pretty darn good. I've also got my cayenne peppers going, and I've got 3 on one little plant. But I also have, which I never had in the last few years, green peppers growing. And they're just starting. They're just coming out. But with the heat the last few days, it's been crazy. I'm pumped. On another side of things, my dehydrator has been going non-stop for the last 7 days. I just dehydrated a bunch of bell peppers. Real crunchy, got good taste to them. So, not sure quite what I'm going to do with them yet. I think I might just powder them and use them as accents to soups and stuff, or stews. But they taste really good. And I also did some grape tomatoes and cut them in half and dehydrated them as well to turn them into sun-dried tomatoes. When I rehydrate them, I'll rehydrate them in olive oil. So I'll have basically sun-dried tomatoes to add to whatever I want, pizza or whatever meal, even salads. So I'm quite happy. The one thing I'm not really impressed with right now this year is my cucumbers. My pickling cucumbers are just starting, and I planted those first, but they're just starting to grow. My regular cucumbers, that was a big fail the first time around, and the second planting, one plant's still going. The second plant, sort of, but I mean, I've harvested my dill probably 7 times now in the last month. Parsley the same. My arugula just went right to seed, so I'm going to have to chop that all off and save the seed pods and dry them out and save them for the next planting. And who knows? I don't think I'll have to buy arugula seeds anymore, because these things are, they're about that big, about an inch and a half long, and they're starting to crinkle up because they've got seeds in them, and I can see that. My peas are going gangbusters, and so are my herbs. I'm I'm really happy with the results this year versus last year, where I had like 5 tomatoes, period. But my potatoes, I've already done a first harvest. I harvested that big tub where I called my potato forest. I got about 5 pounds of potatoes out of that. A lot of them were nuggets, and some of them were baseball sized. But you know, the I have to do something with regards to the aphids and the bugs, because they're just decimating the leaves and the stalks. So this next succession planting, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put beets in that garden, and possibly some lettuce, and just let it go and see what happens. So hopefully, but my one row of lettuce that I planted failed in the spring. Now that it's summer, I replanted that line, or that row, with celery, and the celery is coming along fantastically. Same with the pak choi. I mean, that's just going crazy. I've had to thin that out. I've had to thin the carrots out. So, yeah, yeehaw! And I cannot wait to get going and growing in my greenhouse. I think this is going to be a really exciting time and a really exciting grow space. And with the spare areas that I have on my walls, I'm going to be putting up either trellises with grow planters, or it's going to be what it is, and I'm going to make sure that I have the maximum grow space possible and keep going. So this is my version of my victory garden, basically. And in today's world, the way things are going, I think everybody needs to plant a victory garden. It's just one of those things. I mean, people did it back in World War One, World War Two, when food was scarce. And with all of this stuff that's going on that you hear about and see on, I don't know what to believe on half of that stuff on YouTube. My grocery stores here, they are fully stocked. Mind you, having said that, I've gone to the store, I've bought iceberg lettuce, where they've had it 2 for 1. Like buy one head, get one head free. The second head is usually half rotten by the time I get home, and I only live like 3 to 4 minutes away from the grocery store. What's up with that? So, same with bell peppers, same with garlic. After this year, I'm not buying garlic at the store anymore. I'll be planting my own. Last year was a fail because I planted it at the wrong time of the year, and either the bugs got it, or something got it. Maybe moisture, because I am in a pretty moist area when it comes to wintertime. And that's one of the challenges with this greenhouse this winter coming up, is snow load. So I do get a fair amount of snow. It doesn't last long, but I think before I head south, before the snow flies, if I get there before the snow flies, I'll have to fortify the roof a bit to make sure that the snow load just slides off. And by that I mean putting a tarp over it so that it's not going to cave anything in. I mean, it's a prefab greenhouse, so it's aluminum, and those panels, which are pretty flimsy, but they're there. Boy, I'll tell you, an exciting build. And all I got in return happens to be on my Justin Trudeau finger, was that one little nick from the aluminum. The Justin Trudeau bird, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's hilarious. I would also like to give a shout out to Linda Bopp. Thank you so much for your advice, and I will wholeheartedly take that. You made a lot of sense. And a bunch of other people have said the same thing. Trolls will be trolls. I don't need to even bother with them. Just delete them and they're gone. Right? So, Linda, thank you. I appreciate it, and I am very grateful, and I'm humbly grateful. Anyhow, folks, good things coming up. Looking forward to the July garden tour, as it were, and my greenhouse reveal, I guess we'll call it that. I mean, I've put up pictures on my community post, but doesn't quite give the same effect as a video. So here we go. More grow space, and I'm a happy camper because I am just in my glory with hobby growing. Let's call it that. Hobby gardening. Grew up on a farm. Never wanted to be a farmer. Learned a lot from my dad, my brothers. I mean, my oldest brother, he could pick up a handful of soil and tell you what you could grow in it. My second oldest brother, he was the mechanic, and he wanted to be an agricultural mechanic, work on combines and heavy equipment and stuff. So he did that for a number of years. You know, me? Nah. I was the rebel. I always have been. Always will be. But here we are. So we will talk to you soon. If I don't see you before Canada Day, for the Canadian viewers that I have, happy Canada Day. And for all of my friends in the United States, happy Independence Day coming up on the 4th. God bless you all. Prep Rebel out.